What is that you have in your hands? Honestly, when did you start reading magazines like that? Didn't I teach you how to take care of business without having to rely on that sort of thing? Anyway, I'm sure some of the enemy grunts will find that sort of magazine as appealing as you seem to. Place it on the ground and you might be able to divert their attention.
Welcome to Between the Joysticks. Press start and then we're off. Nick and John, they've got the sauce. Breaking news and some hot takes. Even if there's some mistakes, Nick is captaining the ship, while John gives thoughts straight from the hip. But when their powers combine, we're all in for a hell of a time. Between the Joysticks, it's the best. Up to 6 things they will address. Tell all your friends and settle in. Between the Joysticks now begins.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 155 of the podcast Between the Joysticks. On this episode, the show's not dead.
Yeah,
it continues on.
I figured we were just restarting at 1. Episode 1.
We are back, and we're excited to talk video games, and boy, did things happen while we weren't recording. EA goes private. Xbox keeps digging a deeper grave. Halo is coming to PlayStation, and we're going to review Ghost of Yotei. All that and much more on this episode. I'm your host, Nick, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, John. John, how does it feel to be back in the recording studio finally?
Feels good, man. I mean, it does have this little air about having to find that muscle memory again on how we do this, and it even feels like as I'm talking right now, it's like, God, when was the last time we did this? It's been a month.
Yeah,
it's been a month.
4 weeks. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time abroad. I traveled the world. I got to go see all sorts of things. Spent time in New Zealand with Jesse. He didn't even know I was there. I was just creeping in his house. But so I had to make some time to, some time for the fans.
The one movie where they live in the basement. Is it the Korean movie?
Oh, Parasite?
Parasite. You were parasiting him?
Yeah, exactly. Just flashing the light on and off, trying to send you a message. You didn't see it. Deep Parasite reference there. But, yeah, happy to be back. Happy to talk video games. And, yeah, get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, so, I mean, listeners...
I also didn't travel the world, in case anybody thinks I did.
But you did travel, so we'll give you that. Listeners of the show may know that John and I work together, and conveniently we can record immediately after work in the same room. And so recording is subject to our jobs. Our jobs have somehow become incredibly stressful and time-consuming. John was in Los Angeles a week ago. I was in Dallas 2 weeks ago, and then just work has just consumed everything.
2 days ago.
You're right. Yeah, there you go. So, so we apologize for not recording consistently, but we're back, and we're going to do the best we can to stay on top of this show because we love talking about video games.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of this news might be a little dated, but we know that you've been ignoring everything else, waiting for our opinions on things about EA getting purchased and stuff like that. So we'll dive in. Yeah.
So before we catch up and get into everything, we want to hear from you. Please write in. That email address is betweenthejoysticks@gmail.com. Our Twitter DM is @joystickspod. And you can follow us on YouTube. That YouTube page is @BetweenTheJoysticks. Get in touch with us. Let us know what you're playing in this busy fall season. All right, John. We got a lot to catch up on. We have a lot of topics. It's we got a platter in front of us of topics to talk about.
Smorgasbord?
Yeah, a smorgasbord.
Yes.
Is there anything that you're dying to talk about first?
Yeah, ball pit. Yeah.
Ball pit is not one of the things here. That we can curve that to next week.
Fuck. All right.
You can have 30 seconds on ball pit.
Just go watch the launch trailer for Ball Pit that my friend at work showed me today, and that'll give you all your feelings about how I feel about that game. It's really awesome. Just want to play more of it.
Yeah, just came out, 87 on OpenCritic, a very well reviewed indie game, just $15. You can't argue with that, and it's available everywhere. So
it's crack. Crack cocaine. Vampire Survivors, that type of thing, It's good stuff.
Okay. But I'm sure we'll hear more about that next week.
Yes.
Other than ball pit, was there a specific topic that...
Are you looking for me to lay out...
you can pick.
Sometimes you're like, just what's on your mind, bud? And I go freeze up and I have no idea. Let's talk Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go Xbox. That's the big juicy one.
All right. So yeah, Xbox has been in the news a lot since we last recorded. I'll lay out the big 4 stories here, and then or 3 stories, and then John you just pick apart what you want to.
Yes.
First big story is that Game Pass is going up in price. Now, Game Pass Ultimate is the tier that the console players pay for to get those day one exclusives. That's how they're playing Ninja Gaiden 4 day one, Outer Wilds 2, Call of Duty, Keeper. The list goes on and on. A pretty solid year for Xbox. But now you're going to pay even more. That monthly subscription is now going from $19.99 to $29.99. And then PC Game Pass is going from $11.99 to $16.49.
That's a 50% increase. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. And then on top of that, Xbox development kits, the kit you use if you wanted to make a game to be on the Xbox platforms, those originally cost $1,500, are now going up to $2,000. And then Sarah Bond was in the news talking about the next-gen Xbox being a high-end experience, meaning that it sounds like from reports that this thing will be like a ROG Ally X, the handheld that Xbox just released that runs Game Pass, but also can sideload Steam, basically a version of Windows that doesn't load the OS but can run PC applications. It sounds like the next Xbox will be the same thing. So you've probably seen a lot of headlines lately that are like, PlayStation games are coming to Xbox. Well, wink, wink. They go to PC, right? You can play Spider-Man 2 on PC, Ghost of Tsushima on PC, Last of Us Part 2 on PC. And if the rumors are true, this next gen Xbox would do the same, that you would be able to sideload Steam and then play PlayStation games on this quote unquote Xbox. So where do you want to start first, John?
Well, let's get the Game Pass. Actually, you know what? Let's not get the Game Pass thing out of the way. Let's talk about the rumored new console, because I think that's kind of maybe a launching pad for the rest of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So this rumored next Xbox, that's going to be just a bespoke PC, right? Like, all of these moves, I think, at the end of the day, are easy signs that Xbox wants nothing to do with the as we know it console space anymore.
Right.
They don't have any reason to be there. They are getting trounced. There was some reportings coming out from some data about sales where I think the PS5. First off, the PS5 outsold Switch 2, which was worldwide, which was pretty impressive, but also was like 10-1 on the Xbox in most places, if not worse elsewhere. So There's absolutely no reason for them to stay in this thing anymore. So this is really their only option to go. But I don't know if it's going to succeed for them or not. I mean,
I know they're not doing well, but are you a little taken aback that they're at least not going to try? And I know the cat's out of the bag. It's hard to just do a full reset. But say for whatever reason they can get an Xbox, an Xbox console again, the same as like a Series X out again, and with their first party output, do you think there's ever a way they would claw back?
No, they're done. I mean, and I think because we just now know that Halo is coming to PlayStation. What's left? Every single thing will come to PlayStation. It has to, because of the margins and money that they need to make.
Right. I didn't include that story too.
So there is absolutely, I can't think of any reason besides the path that they're going, where it's like, if you want the highest end experience, if you want this hybrid thing that interlinks with Steam, there's a lot of value to be had there. There's something that PlayStation can't do there. But if you're talking about like going back to just trying it again to compete directly with PlayStation again, it's over.
So do you think so? The next Xbox, will it be like it'd be them partnering with another manufacturer like the ROG Ally X, or are they going to make their own? This is a Microsoft first party console.
I think it's Microsoft first party. I mean, I think that they have the resources to do that.
I don't know. I think they might not be doing that.
I guess why would you think not?
Because if this sounds like the ROG Ally X,
Yeah.
and so you take a box is just, a PC is a PC, and then you just put an Xbox logo on it, and it becomes the Xbox PC. Why wouldn't they just do that and let other manufacturers make their own Xbox PCs? Now that they're moving towards a version of Windows that doesn't load the OS, that just is made for gaming, and I think that would open the floodgates for just a ton of different devices that run this version of Windows and can be.
I think it'll be I don't think it's going to be a cut and dry either way. I think it'll be a little column A, a little column B. I think they're going to have their own SKU that's Microsoft through and through, because first off, at the end of the day, that allows them to get more profit, more of the money. At the end, if they're partnering with Lenovo or Asus or whoever, they're going to have to give some of the profit over to them. And that's not to say I don't think that they'll rule that out entirely, but I think they will have their own for like the people who just love the Xbox, like they bleed green, they want the Microsoft experience. It's obviously already.
There ain't many of those people left.
There's not, but there's some. So that's why I think that you could still make that. You can put a little bit of your own resources towards that, and maybe make a little bit more money per capita, but also have the other ones available as well, just to try and flood the market as much as you possibly could. But I don't know, man. It's uncharted territories to kind of think that one of these companies. The only thing we really have to compare this is like when Nintendo went full handheld and consoles. Like, how's that going to work? What's that going to do? Right. It's going to be a whole brand new thing. But I think this is. I don't hate the move. If I was a Microsoft fan, if I wanted the brand to succeed, it's like there aren't many paths left, and going into a PC space does differentiate yourself at least a little bit.
If PlayStation was doing this, you would be happy?
No. Is that what you just took from what I said?
Yeah. If I was an Xbox console gamer, I'm not happy at all.
I would
getting more expensive.
It's either this or die. Seriously, they're at that point. They're not selling units anywhere.
Microsoft isn't going anywhere.
Microsoft's
the die part is a little bit.
No, but if your options are, okay, you're just a third-party maker of games that goes to PlayStation, PC, and Switch, maybe if there's another player that enters the market, or we can do this type of route where I can still kind of say I'm an Xbox player on an Xbox brand, even if it's more expensive and all that stuff.
Right.
It's an option. I wouldn't want that if I'm PlayStation, but PlayStation's
I just think I just think at this point you're probably like by next console generation. Say you've been Xbox through and through. You're ejecting, right? Like you're getting out. Yeah. Because whatever the next box you get, it sounds like it's going to run Steam anyway.
Right.
So you might as well just start building your library on Steam.
Yeah.
And doing things like that, and just I can log into my Xbox app and look at my games and run them occasionally.
I think what they want to try and probably do is almost create like the demographic they're going after is incredibly niche, right? Like I agree that is kind of the person, but maybe they're hoping to grow that.
When this thing sounds like it's going to cost $1,000, like this high end experience. That's just prepping you for the price
for sure. So. But does Microsoft care if games get sold on Xbox or if their games get sold on Steam? They're still going to get some cost of that, and it's better to get 30% from over there as opposed to nothing if people aren't buying games
we know the answer to that now.
And nobody's buying games on Xbox anyway, so it's like it's a necessary thing I think they have to do. Is it going to work? I don't know. But to kind of circle this back into the Game Pass thing, they're asking a lot of their players right now, right? Like, so not only are we talking about, okay, guys, if you want to continue on with Xbox, if Xbox is where you want to play games, we're probably going to be paying way more than whatever the PlayStation is going to cost. We're increasing our prices by $10 a month, which is a lot in the world of streaming services. Every time I get an email from Netflix, it's like we're raising our prices. It's really annoying, but it's usually $1 or $2. Right. And they chip damage you, and eventually they're going to get you where they want you to be, as opposed to maybe they just thought, well, we can just rip the Band-Aid off now. But when we start to talk about $30 a month or $360 a year, that starts to become like you're asking a lot of a player.
That was wild to me reading about this, is that like with PlayStation, you can get a discount, or most services you can pay out for a year and it'll be a lot cheaper, Amazon Prime or anything, than month to month. There is no year option for this.
Yeah,
you're paying $30 a month, you're paying the whole shebang, the full 360. That is a lot. That is not like I'm just going to let this subscription lapse. It's a weak month for at Game Pass, I'll just let it lapse. It's like, nah, man, if I'm not playing that shit, I'm canceling it now.
Yeah, and we just saw some incredible months from them this year, right? I think it was back in May that had
That's the stinger.
right, is that so
that's what hurts the most.
You had these amazing months, and it didn't really seem to move the needle. Now you're increasing the price again, and next year, you're going to have, next year's going to be a great year in games. Fable drops, Forza Horizon 6. In games like that, this rumored Halo, well, it's not really rumored anymore. The new Halo game, that's going to be there. So there's going to be stuff to play, but the amount of reports and information that we see where it's like the average gamer buys 2 games a year and all this other stuff, it's like who is this person? Who is the Xbox player that wants to play a whole bunch of things that doesn't play on PC or PS5 or Switch, and that is willing to pay $360 a year to just keep bouncing around as opposed to just buy a couple things? Like, the older we get as gamers, you and I, right, the 30 crowd, we are running out of time. It's not that we don't have time. Yeah, well, in many more ways than one. So it's like the idea of subscription services to me and like the people who are worried about time is less and less appealing. The young crowd, they're not looking to play as many games as they possibly can. They want their Fortnites, they want their things, the things that they get addicted to. So it's like, who are these people? I don't know. So maybe they're, it's just like, look, they know they've lost. There was a report, or there was an interview Phil Spencer had that said something along the lines of like, the day that we lose Halo is the day we lose our identity as Xbox or something. Well, that day has happened. That day has has come, and they're. I think they do need to lean into just this like hybrid nature. They have to produce some sort of product that has, however niche it may be, something that PlayStation doesn't, and a PC type product could be that. But
Xbox will just be the biggest publisher of video games, and you won't measure their success by hardware sales anymore.
I don't think they care about that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I mean, there's lots of different things about how Costco and Sam's Club aren't re-upping any of their stock for any of the consoles. Like they're effectively giving up on this, I think, at this point.
Which if you look in the future, like 20 years from now, like there won't be a box. It'll all be cloud anyway, and they'll definitely have the advantage there. So
that's a great point. I believe it was Microsoft or somebody maybe it was Palm Pilot, I don't know. Somebody came out with a tablet like in 1994 or something like that, right? And it's like it was just too soon. It was too early. The technology wasn't there yet. The infrastructure wasn't there. The use case for these people wasn't there, but it wasn't a bad idea. It just was not the right time. So there is something to be said about like if they can get themselves established in this space and then PlayStation has to, all of a sudden has to play catch up, maybe that could be an opportunity for them to start gaining a little bit of share back. But, it's all hypothetical. It's all, up for grabs, and they need to continue to have the years that they had this year with their games. They can't slow down. The moment you start slowing down is the moment you're going to lose even more trust. But I always then kind of circle back to this like, okay, well, but I can play all your games on PlayStation. So why would I? And if I want to play games on PC, why wouldn't I just do that? So it's going to be messy. But I don't know. How have none of the people at Xbox been fired yet? That's what I want to know. Are they all still there?
You did have the prediction about Phil this year, and it is probably. we're getting there, right?
Like he's definitely taking a back seat. They don't prop him out very much.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what next year. And that's the funny thing too is next year is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. November of 2021 is when Xbox and Halo launched. And so next year will be a big deal for them, not only because of that, but because they have a lot of big games coming. And it'll be curious as to what. It's just our outlook on Xbox is going to be different, and we heard John talk about it for a long time, years and years ago about how Game Pass isn't sustainable, and it's
obviously not.
No,
obviously,
Game Pass is going up in price. Their games are going on other platforms. That's all the proof you really need. That
is Extra going to follow suit, you think?
What's that?
PlayStation Extra. Do you think we're gonna see a big price bump for that here?
Didn't it get that this time last year though?
It got a little one, I think, but nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think
on parity.
every subscription service is going to go up in price. It's just
But like a 50, probably not like a 50.
no. But yeah, I mean, it's just it was a race to get subscribers. Between all these streaming service and all these subscription services, and then you saw them starting to stop. We're not going to take a loss just so we can get more subscribers. We want to start making these people pay because that's how much the content costs to make.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. And yeah, well, PlayStation and Nintendo. I mean, isn't the first year of that Nintendo voice chat free if you buy?
I think so.
If you buy a Switch 2, and then after that you'll have to pay for it. So
yeah, they want you in the door. I wonder if this is more of a, how much of this is just due to Xbox being in third place, and how much is it due to just the economic realities? I'm sure it's little column A, little column B, but
yeah, and as we said, Xbox is having a banger year. I mean, the 360, the amount is worth it if you're playing all these games. I mean, there were enough in the past year to justify, I think, that price. But yeah. To keep that pace up, which Xbox notoriously does not, because before that they were bone dry.
It's just the people who can keep up with it are on PC or PS5. I guarantee it. That's
Right.
interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, what else on Xbox? We got Halo. Halo to talk about a little bit more. You want to jump into Halo?
Yeah, we can jump into Halo.
All right.
Halo. Campaign involved.
How cute. What a cute name.
It'd be a cold day in hell when Halo was on PlayStation, but here we are. Announced last Friday, Halo Campaign Involved is a remake of Halo Combat's Involved campaign, featuring redesigned missions with alterations to the level design and structure, fuck you library, along with new movement options and mechanics that reflect subsequent gameplay updates made in Combat Evolved's various sequels. The ability to sprint, the ability to hijack an assortment of vehicles piloted by the Covenant, such as Wraith tanks. The Warthog is getting an update, a fourth seat involved. It's going to add 8 weapons from the subsequent games, including the Energy Sword, and then it's also adding 3 additional missions as well to the game. And I do want to focus on the campaign involved part because this is not going to include multiplayer. This is just going to be a remake of the original Halo campaign in Unreal Engine 5 and is scheduled to come out sometime next year. It'll support 4-player co-op, cross-platform, 2-player local split screen on console. So we'll see. But
Sure.
Thoughts, John? Halo.
Huge moment. I mean, like you said, if you said that Halo would be on PlayStation last year, you'd get laughed at, you'd get clowned out, and it happened very quickly. I mean, it seemed like it. Well, when did Forza come to PlayStation? That was just last fall, wasn't it? So
that was this year.
Was
that
this
April?
Year? Yeah. So within all this year, we got the big 3 tentpole games.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild to think about. I mean, first and foremost, I think that Halo is, it's in the Mount Rushmore of gaming IP. Maybe not quite that high, when you consider Zelda and Mario and Final Fantasy and things like that, but it's synonymous with Xbox through and through. It's the reason that Xbox even exists still today, right? If that game was not on the launch of that system, I don't think it would have lived. Looks very pretty. They definitely took their time to make it look nice, to update it as much as they could. But I can't help but feel like the product itself is a little lacking. The big one, obviously, as you mentioned, is the multiplayer suite. I don't know for what reason that they decided to launch it without that. I mean, we just got the Gears of War 1 remake that included multiplayer. So, it's a bit strange that, the game that's more known for its multiplayer, that's more iconic, that you really could get people to just play it forever if they included it, is just not there. So that that leaves a couple questions immediately. Is like, how much is this thing going to cost? If you're starting to gut a little bit of what the original package has, you can't really charge full price for it. But I do think it's going to be tailored as a premium experience. So I would expect it probably at the very lowest $40. I'm expecting $50 for it. But It's cool for the people who love Halo. I just unfortunately was never crazy about it. I think Halo is important and it was fun at the time. But as I was watching, they released a 13-minute segment from the Silent Cartographer mission, which was what you said, the third mission of the game. I don't know if I want this type of experience anymore. Like for me personally, right? And I'm probably about to steal your point because you were mentioning it yesterday. But like, if it's not meant for me and my age, like who is this for? Though, right?
That was my follow-up question.
Right.
I know it's not for you, but who is it for? Because I see, like, internally I understand the next Halo 7 will be on Unreal Engine 5. Why not get everyone acclimated with Unreal, get it working in a campaign that we know is, solid and successful, and get our developers up to speed for the future of Halo, whatever that is. But again, you mentioned we're aging gamers. We were the right age when this game came out. I think I was 16, 17.
Yeah, I was 12.
So we were the right age, LAN party, the whole thing. And the campaign is good, but I mean, all those memories are multiplayer. Like I played the campaign maybe twice and finished it. And if it's not for us, and it's for us aging gamers who have nostalgia, like, are young people going to get into this? And without the multiplayer, no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure that's what they want. The holy grail demographic that every video game company wants is that exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
12 to 17. If you can hook kids, then they're going to be fans for life, just like all of us aging gamers are, right? But yeah, there's not going to be many 13-year-olds that are going to even make the time for this. If there's no multiplayer, they can't really play with their friends more than just maybe a couple of them. And it's over in 6 hours. That's not going to be enough, I think, to push the franchise forward, to even really give yourself like a boost towards whatever you would want for Halo 7. Because I agree. Like, this is a test bed for the franchise going forward. It's an introduction to the series to anybody who exists on PlayStation nowadays. But, you could also get just the exact same amount of people, I would wager, if you just had a really good trailer for whatever the next Halo game is. So that's not to say I don't think this project should exist. It's cool that it does. And, and it looks like it. I'm sure it'll be high quality. I'm sure it's going to be great and sell great and all that stuff, just by name alone. But I can't, it's hard to say I'm excited about it.
I'm curious as to what, you say sell well, and I even question that. I think, going back to Xboxes, the problem is their franchises peaked so long ago, and they're not even going to come close. And I think the same thing here. I don't know what Gears of War Reloaded sold. I'd be curious to know what it sold on PlayStation specifically, because that is the one thing to this game is if you've been a PlayStation gamer for the last 25 years, then you never played Halo, and this could be your introduction. But I don't know. Is nostalgia enough for this to be a 5 million seller, 10 million seller, in that kind of range?
I don't know about 10 million, but I think you're going to be in between that 5 to 10 probably. I think just the prospect of this franchise, this specific franchise being on PlayStation is good for at least 1 million. It'd be like if Super Mario Galaxy for some reason launched on PlayStation. You'd be like, well, who'd buy this? I'd buy it. It's just there are certain franchises that are going to sell. To answer your question though, and to kind of bolster your point, approximately 259,000 copies have sold on PS5 of Gears of War. Which is
there you go.
Right.
There you
go.
Only
1.3 million total.
That's a $40 game.
Yeah.
I think the same thing here. I mean, again, it's a cool vanity project. It's just these these franchises, a lot of them, they require reinvention. That's why God of War 2018 meant so much. It brought a franchise that peaked and then hit a new peak, and that's not easy to do. But Halo it seems to not have that. And
it's an interesting comparison with Forza Horizon, which sold over 3 million copies between April and July on PlayStation.
Right.
Which is a new franchise, which has live service elements, which is something that I think speaks to the younger generation a little bit better than this relic of the past.
Right.
Type thing, or at least something that seems like that.
Right. So yeah, I'm not. I just it's just not a game I'm even remotely interested in. And talking in a year that is next year, which is Grand Theft Auto, Fable, Wolverine, Resident Evil. It's like this is not even gonna scratch my radar.
100%.
Like it's.
Do you think it's something that they'll add multiplayer to later?
That's
Like,
an
but,
interesting.
why wouldn't it be ready now? I don't get that. Can't be that in depth.
I wonder if there would be a world where sometime next year, like kind of like the Ghost of Yotei and talking about Legends, right? For the briefest of seconds, like if they said that Halo 1 multiplayer was good, we're going to add it to it as an update to this game. But I think they're getting ahead of it. It's campaign involved. It's not
right.
how Halo Combat Evolved Remastered or
It's
something.
in the name.
They know that there's no plans to do it, and it's, to be honest, it's probably because there'll be some kind of free to play Halo multiplayer shooter at some point.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, so.
Well, then that's probably what they'll do. Whenever that comes, they'll say, "Look, you can play the Halo 1 maps in this thing." Mm-hmm. They were just not putting it into this package.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And then this also, I know you've had this prediction for quite a while. This effectively kills any chance that the Halo Master Chief Collection comes back out and shows up on PlayStation. It's dead.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
This is what you get. Enjoy it.
Better like it. Daddy's Phil gave it to us.
But yeah, as someone who loved Halo, like seriously, like I played it so fucking much. That first game, but it was all multiplayer. So it's just the campaign is just an afterthought. And so
yeah, my shit was Halo 2 SWAT with battle rifles. That was pretty dope. But yeah, man, it was sleepovers with the buds, LAN party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
oh my god, we can play with 8 people if we put these 2 Xboxes together with this cable.
with this crossover LAN cable.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting and I know a lot of the comments are like, wow, like it's a cold day in hell, you know, it's coming to PlayStation, but just as from a project standpoint, it's just it doesn't even like register to me.
Where's my Ori games, Nick?
Where
are the Ori games? All right, those are like the only things I can think of. I guess there's like State of Decay and stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I imagine they're going to come eventually.
yeah, give me my Ori games. I want them.
Yeah, I can't see why they
I
wouldn't.
want trophies
but,
for those.
I don't know, but all right. So
Get
that's
together, Sarah Bond.
all right. Where do you want to go next?
You pick. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Let's wrap up with a final news item. This Electronic Arts business.
Oh yeah.
Publicly traded company, Electronic Arts, the makers of franchises such as Madden, Mass Effect, Jedi Survivor, Apex Legends, and so much more. They're going to go private. Electronic Arts, combined with some investors that include Jared Kushner, the private equity firm Silver Lake Partners, and the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, are going to take Electronic Arts private for an estimated value of $55 billion. This is the first time I've read about leveraged buyouts, and that's when a company uses its own stock to pay for its buyout. So after this is all said and done, Electronic Arts will just be in debt around $20 billion.
Sure.
So and in previous leveraged buyouts is like they don't go well. Toys R Us is the kind of the famous one, even though Toys R Us is back now. They did this and went bankrupt not too long after. So
there's some really good like analogy that I can't think of right now, though, to the Toys R Us that exists today versus the Toys R Us that existed in 1993.
Right.
Not the same.
So I'm curious as to where you want to take this. I really don't think in terms of video games, I don't think we're going to see much of a change, especially in the games that like John and I play. Like, like we don't touch Madden or FC soccer or any of their sports games, NCAA. And they have very few single player games left in the fire. I know that they do publish Game of the Year nominee, Split Fiction, the Hazelight games, and they do have the Jedi series, but and they had Dragon Age last year. But I mean, what does this mean, John? What does this mean at all, if anything?
Listeners, just so you know, I'm not going to go scorched earth on this one. A, because the story's been out for a little bit, so you've probably digested it a little bit yourself. But also, I want to keep my blood pressure down if I can. First off, not good at all. I don't think the Saudi investment fund is really the most up and up organization to invest their money into things. Anytime they do it, it just kind of gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. I just always worry about ulterior motives. I don't think that they're very forthright with what they're actually trying to do. I do think that the people of Saudi Arabia are probably very nice people, kind. They just want entertainment like the rest of us. But I do think that the private investment fund, which is owned by the royal family, they're not great people. So we're going to just push that aside.
There's only been a couple of controversies, the whole comedy festival, WrestleMania,
killing journalists,
Live Golf. There's
look, I know money talks, but at some point, I feel like money needs to be controlled a little bit, and there's just no controlling this level of money. So it is what it is. That being said, thank God it's EA. First off, like you mentioned, if this was something like Take-Two or Activision. That's not a good example.
Like Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom. Capcom's a great example. I would be crushed. I would be, I'd feel bad because I do think we will see a little bit of differences in games. If
in what way?
Hold on. If studios aren't sold off, which is what I think will happen, I think that you're going to see the Saudis look at the spreadsheets very closely. What makes money? And what makes money, Nick? It's the sports games. That's going to be what they really truly care about.
I agree this too, that you'll see a more profit-driven company.
Right. So I think they're going to look at the Hazelights, the BioWares, and say, well, what do we need these for? Are they really making us money, or are they kind of holding us back? And I think that you could see potentially either some of these companies get sold or shelved entirely. I could see Hazelight being more of a sold, BioWare being more of just a cancel.
Well, they don't own Hazelight. They just publish their gaes.
That's good.
So Hazelight would be fine.
Just go work with somebody else.
But to the rest of your point is, I think Mass Effect 5 is not coming. That is dead.
I mean,
we know that the Black Panther game is dead, or the Iron Man. I forget which. The Black Panther game, but that Iron Man game, I bet you, is dead. That Motive was working on, who are now working on Battlefield. I would say anything that's not like an obvious moneymaker. The annual franchises. I don't know what existing deals they have with Disney for Jedi and Marvel. So
that could be one, because Star Wars is enough to.
Maybe they see those through. There was that. We know that Star Wars XCOM game is coming.
Oh yeah.
Those existing games will do, but if you haven't seen it in a while, or like Mass Effect, I just think with how poorly Dragon Age did, that there's no way that these franchises will go away.
Well, and
for money making reasons.
Yeah, but I also think that a studio like BioWare, if they were to be allowed to live, there is absolutely no world where they're allowed to be in control of the final product. I don't believe that. There's too many progressive things that are interspersed through the Dragon. You laugh, but I'm in the Dragon Age games, in the Mass Effect games.
Yes, and sure, but I ultimately think money talks, and I think if this was the Mass Effect that we knew and loved and would sell like a Mass Effect 2 or 3 did, I don't think they care as long as it's making money.
They'd have certain things
because a part of this is people believe, right? They call it they're trying to wash away their negative
whitewashing.
Yeah, whitewashing, right? Their negative image, as you said. There's a lot of negative stories about how people are treated over there, human rights and all that stuff, and that I don't think you come in and invest in these things if that's the goal in mind, and then all of a sudden be like, well, you can't have this game because it allows same-sex romances. I just don't think they do that. I just think they look at Mass Effect and go, well, how did Mass Effect 4 do? How did Dragon Age do? How much money is it going to cost to get a Mass Effect game properly to the finish line? We're not doing it. Not for the sales that we think that franchise is going to get.
Yeah.
Those resources can be better spent on, I don't know, any other franchise, their annual.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just, when you think of, like, let's use, I think China's kind of a pretty close comparison and just on the way that their governments are run. They're very sheltered. The people of China aren't allowed to use the internet from the outside world, right? And then when you look at games that are associated with, China, they go in and say, you can't mention Taiwan. It's not to say that the game has to shift, but like if you mention Taiwan in a game that's released in China, you have to scrub it out. They don't allow it.
Right.
And so I'm not saying they're going to be like, yeah, you can't have, there's going to be no women in this game. It's not going to be that, but it's going to be like, you're not going to see maybe scantily clad women, things like that. I think they could push the needle in that direction a little bit. Just because, like, dude, I mean, the dude at the head of the private investment fund, this Turki al-Shaikh guy, there's a wing of the prison in Saudi Arabia named after him from people that have just dissented against the government, right? That have spoken out against them, that speak critical of them. And so
If we go on another hiatus, it's because they got John.
yeah, that's true. I got God. I find, I'm very adamant about not using social media, so I don't put many of my thoughts out there. I probably should question my voice on a podcast as well. But all that aside, I mean, they're still going to make all their sports games. I just don't like big swaths of money being thrown around and just things just kind of getting gobbled up. And no, this is ours now. It always feels gross, and I can't think of many worse, groups to do it, that have the resources to do it. And, it is what it is. Luckily, like I said, it's EA is a good one for it to happen for me at least.
Right.
So
and I know I said like they're more they're always a profit driven company. Like I think Mass Effect was dead. The second Dragon Age failed. So I don't think that's just because they bought it that Mass Effect won't exist. I just think there'll just be a push. Again they're in debt. They're $20 billion in debt. Is the push profits really hard now internally to for these new investors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Cliff Notes version is bad. Is what it is.
Yeah. It's. I guess we'll see. I like I said, I don't think there'll be much of an impact that we'll see. Working there, things might get buttoned up.
Can I still have my Sims have sex? Can that still happen?
I always forget about The Sims.
Yeah.
That's what if I was investing in this, if I was a partner in this, that I would say get Sims 5 out. Like that'd be priority one for me.
Yeah, they make money, man. They make money. How much DLC does The Sims have?
Yeah,
All
exactly.
the
So, but it's just a wild. These are just again wild stories. Like since I've known John, Xbox buying Bethesda, Xbox buying Activision Blizzard, and now Electronic Arts going private. These are just some of the most insane stories that you can possibly imagine. Xbox games coming to PlayStation. It's like the last 5 years have been fucking wild.
Sony buying Bungie.
Yeah, exactly. Sony buying Bungie. Like there's just
and then failing.
Yeah. And I feel like next year is due for, there's all this Warner Brothers talk of something big could happen with Warner Brothers and who own, Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat and all those studios, Rocksteady, I'd be curious. Yeah, I feel like next year is going to be even more big news involving them. So
that could be a fun topic someday as we each bring like what we think the 5 biggest stories we've ever covered are. Just kind of like just revisit them real quick, see if anything's changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk Ghost of Yotei. That's a big release. It was about to come out before when we last recorded, and now is out. Ghost of Yotei is the sequel to 2020's Ghost of Tsushima, currently sitting at an 87 on OpenCritic. This comes from Sucker Punch, a Sony first-party studio that has also done the Infamous franchise and the Sly Cooper franchise. The game, set in 1603 in Ezo, Japan, a couple hundred years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima, follows the story of Atsu, an Animusha seeking vengeance against the Yotei 6 for slaughtering her family 16 years later. This is
Is that the Japanese version of the Sinister Six?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
This is an open world action game, and so Ghost of Tsushima. We obviously we weren't doing the show when that game came out, but I don't know, John. What were your thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima all the way back in the COVID days of 2020 when you played it?
It was a game that fell firmly in the second tier of PlayStation IPs for me. I think it's gorgeous. The thing I remember most about it was how quick the fast travel was and the loading.
Yeah, on PlayStation 4.
But I do remember playing through it and having conversations with you about, like, I don't know, it's good, but, like, I'm not in love with it. The story is good, but I'm not in love with it. And I thought it was a very good, solid 8 kind of out of 10 game. I think it... the weirdest thing about Ghosts after it came out in 2020 is, like, I remember, it was a month after Last of Us 2 came out, so, like, people were talking, like, oh, does Sony not believe in this? Are they sending it out to die? And I think it ended up selling more than Last of Us, and people love this franchise, and I always found it a little weird how much certain people love this franchise. It's just, like, a little bit better than Assassin's Creed to me.
Right,
but, I found the combat okay, just not...
Yeah, and I mean, stories are already out that it's outsold Assassin's Creed on PlayStation at the very least. So, yeah, it has its fan. And, yeah, you mentioned, it came out in 2020. It came out, a month after Last of Us Part 2 because that got delayed. Mm-hmm. And then that was also the same year the PlayStation 5 would launch in that November, 4 months later. So it is a weird game. Like you said, it's not in the upper tier of PlayStation franchises, that's for sure. But obviously it has its fans, and it seems like this game is doing very well. And I had the same thoughts. Ghost of Tsushima, I thought was an okay game. Yeah, great load times. Beautiful open world. The wind mechanics.
The wind mechanic is the best thing that game.
A focus on less UI. I appreciate in video games. Builds on that immersion, right? When you don't have a bunch of menu options in your face. So there's a lot of things to appreciate about that game, but yeah, mostly forgettable side characters, mostly forgettable story. And so, I don't consider Jin one of the premier PlayStation characters at all. But here we are. So John has not played Ghost of Yotei yet.
Shocker.
He has my copy of it.
Shocker.
But I have played, completed, and platinumed Ghost of Yotei. It took me about 38 hours, so I'm kind of ready to give my thoughts on it. And we're going to start here what did you do to me, John?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
What did you do to me?
I don't know.
I started this game.
I infected your brain.
I started this game, and it is open world as fuck. Like, that's the thing. There's, like, tons of things there's tons of markers on the map. It kind of just says, go, be free. And I just rolled my eyes, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, look at all this fucking shit I got to do.
But you're Mr. Witcher. You're Geralt of Michigan.
And instantly I was like, what did John do to me? Like, he fucked me. He fucked me. Like, I am not...
First it was getting you into indie games, and now it's getting you out of open world games.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, third-person open world games are, like, my bread and butter. But I won't lie. Like, Sucker Punch dealt they lied.
Oh.
You can't go and kill the Yotei 6 in any order. You only get to pick the first two, and then after that, it's all story beats. And that, this whole big thing, like, well, we don't want you to do the same thing over and over again. The amount of wolf dens and fox dens and bounties and hot springs and everything else I've done and bamboo strikes is too fucking much.
Sounds like they should commit seppuku.
And that's kind of like my biggest take against the game is it's just the most generic open world game you just walk up to characters, they just stand at each other and talk. There's no animation. You were rinse and repeat the same thing. Enemy camps, like in all the other side quests, over and over and over again, ad nauseum. Story missions are just the same thing over and over and over again. And it's just, the open world fatigue is my biggest negative against this game. It's just,
You don't get that much.
and it's not like
you played Saints Row, for God's sake.
yeah. And so, and I try to, like, I didn't play Assassin's Creed Shadows because I didn't want to have this open world fatigue, but no joke, within the opening, I think it took me like 25 hours before I killed the first Yotei 6 member. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
and I will sit here and say the completionist in me is killing me because I cannot leave the objects on the map alone, right? And they're all over the place.
You didn't do that with The Witcher 3, did you? Where
What?
you got every question mark?
My first playthrough, yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, The Witcher 3 is an amazing video
It
game.
is. It's just there are so many question marks.
So it's just like I'm just doing this all, and I'm not having fun. I'm not looking forward to playing this game, and I wish I could sit here and tell you by the end I felt differently. And I do think we'll get into the positive things for sure, but I think that it is just as generic as an open world as you can get. Now, it is the most prettiest, gorgeous open world. The draw distance is incredible. You can see things across the map. Pull out your little periscope or whatever. Your what is it fucking called?
Telescope?
Yeah, is it a telescope? Yeah, telescope.
Yeah. I think you put your eye on it and it enhances in the
Yeah,
distance.
yeah, the thing pirates wear when they're in the
Yeah.
little
Half
pigeon's
of
nest.
a binocular.
Yeah, exactly. That is incredible, and there's a lot to be taken from there. But it's just like buckle up. The things you do in the first 4 hours are the things you're going to do throughout it.
Disappointing.
And then, as beautiful as this game is, it borders between PS2 graphics and PS5 graphics. It's like the character models, the animal models, some of the environments look very, very, very bad. And then when you go in the open world, the large, lush fields and all that, it looks incredible with the ray tracing on. I'm playing on a PlayStation 5 Pro. It looks great. But it's like you'll be like, what? Why does this look so bad right here? And I just think it's the engine they're using. I think Sucker Punch uses their own internal engine, and it has some strengths and it has some weaknesses. And then the story it's a revenge tale that's by the books. I don't think there really is any kind of like big surprises that come out of it. I actually thought the story in the first game was better. The push and pull between Jin and his uncle about being the honorable samurai and using the ghost techniques, like he poisoning an entire camp, as an advantage and stuff like that got him in trouble. Like there's just none of that interesting push and pull of like, oh, this is the person I need to be to win. But, I want to be a good person as well. It just does not have the same drive as that. So are you excited to play this game?
So excited. Can't wait. No, and it's probably going to be, in true comedic fashion. It's going to be like, no, I like the open world. It'll be something stupid
right,
like
yeah,
that.
we'll have opposite views.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like my immediate, like I said, it did feel better. Like, I will say, replacing the stances of the original game with actual weapons. Now you have, not just your katana, but you have the odachi, you have a dual katana, you have the kusarigama, the two little scythes on that are connected by a chain.
Kusarigama.
They're cooler to play as, but also it's much easier to recognize the rock, paper, scissors that existed in that first game instead of going like, oh, I got to be in the moon stance and then this stance for this guy or in this stance for this guy. It's like, oh, they're wielding the spear. I know I have to switch to dual katanas because that is the more effective weapon against that. That works.
I don't like stances in games. It's the thing I just don't like. Sorry.
Okay.
wanted to let
What
you
do you
know.
got against
I
stances?
just wanted to let you know.
What's the worst game with stances? What other games with stances?
Neo, I remember had him.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no, just let me do dodge rolls.
Right.
Dodge rolls. That's all I need.
Yeah. So so that is a positive, and I will say like the armor and the attention to detail on like. If you remember in the original game, you picked up all those different sword kits, and they were all just like meticulously designed.
Yeah.
It's got that, for all the weapons, and that stuff's really nice. And at its best, it can feel like it can feel almost like a Red Dead, where you're just immersed in this beautiful environment. It could be raining and storming, or it's just a beautiful day and the wind is just blowing all these leaves and flowers around. Like there are moments in the game that are very pretty, but again, I think it's just so generic. It is the most generic ass video game, and yeah, I feel bad. Because everyone else loves this. Like every podcast I listen to, everyone else I know, and I liked it enough to platinum it, but it could have been better.
You also probably have a first-party Sony streak of platinums going that you can't break.
I do.
Yeah,
I
so you gotta
do.
keep that going.
And in fairness, by the time I had like gotten killed that first Yotei member, I was so far ahead on like every
If you
collectible.
did that in 25 hours and platinumed it in 38, yeah.
Yeah, as I was so far ahead on all the collectibles that I was like, I can spend less than an hour to wrap this up and get the platinum. So,
Did you ever? I forgot. Did you ever see Blue Eye Samurai?
yes,
The Netflix show?
yes, I
And that-
did.
So that's a
I
better
loved it.
story.
Yeah, even though they're very similar.
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
yes, okay.
No, yeah, I enjoyed Blue Eye
Did the
Samurai
intricacies
more.
a little bit better? Okay.
And then I'm not going to sit here and say like the story is terrible. It is serviceable. And some of the side quests, learning about the indigenous people of Ezo, there is some good content in there. And I will say the standout of this game are the bounty hunter quest, because the bounty hunter quest can be very vague in how you figure it out. They're just like, oh, this person's in this region, and they'll give you some kind of loose details on how to find them. And one of the very first early ones you got to kill a guy who plays like a flute, and he's behind this giant door and he won't open it, but you can hear him playing the flute. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't get to him. I'm running all over the map. Like, I can't get to him. And it's like your character plays instrument. They play a little what's it? Shimmy-shan? I'm so bad with names.
The Shimmy Shan. No, I know. I should know this too.
But you play a little guitar.
Shamisen?
Yeah, you play a little guitar,
Shamisen.
and it's like, and so I eventually look up. It's like, oh, he's playing an instrument. If you play the guitar in front of the door, he'll invite you to play with him. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's like kind of like, like an immersive gameplay element that like makes sense. And the game is full of them, but they're exclusive to these like bounty hunter quests. And so a lot of the best quests in the game are involved with getting the bounties, because they're usually not. I mean, they have the traditional, oh, he's the bad guy in a camp, so you have to go through the camp and kill everybody and then kill them or capture them. But there are quite a few of them that will go in some interesting directions, and the outcome is not as straightforward as it seems. So
I feel like this would have been a very good Nemesis system game. Like, if people could figure out how to use that in other games.
And it's funny you
please.
mentioned that, because throughout the game, obviously you do bounties yourself, but you're finding bounties of your character as well throughout the world. And every time, like, you do more, like you kill more Yotei 6 members, you clear out more camps, you see like that the enemies of the world are upgrading. Like they're setting traps, like, they're putting a rope across the road, or they're getting dogs. And so you're like, oh, are they going to start actively hunting me? And I like a Nemesis system, I'll just be in a battle, and all of a sudden some random samurai is going to come up and be like, hey, what the fuck, dude? It's her. Let's get her. It's like, no, those are they're just in the world. Yeah. And you just run into them like you would anybody else. So
why is it review higher than the other one? You have this on your fantasy league. It's stupid. No. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going to play it. Do you think I'll make it through?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't like as far as like an open world game goes, like 38 hours is nothing, right? Like for a platinum.
Yeah, honestly, when you said that, I was like, oh, sweet.
Right. But I don't know if I'm getting turned off. Like you now, like you are. I mean,
ball pit.
You're a very hard guy to keep focused on any game that's not longer. I mean, you haven't even beat Silksong, so that's the whole. What does that say?
Guys, podcast is going on another hiatus.
Number one most anticipated game. You can't get the true ending of Silksong. Yeah, I don't know. I think you'll either really like it or you won't. I mean, I played it in all Japanese voices, and it does in the same way the first game did, like felt out of a samurai movie. So I think your enjoyment of those level of films is appreciated here, and so you'll go into this game and feel like you're playing a Blue-Eyed Samurai or a Yojimbo movie or whatever. It's
Yeah, I mean, I know the country of Japan has always viewed this franchise very positively, which
right.
I'm pretty sure the Japanese people are pretty hard to please in that regard.
Right.
They're very, very protective of their culture, and so nailing it is, definitely something that from that angle.
So I think like your interest, like the setting, will do a lot for you. It'll do a lot of the lifting. I just think you'll make a choice. Either you won't finish it at all, or maybe you just finish it and don't touch the side stuff. Because I think if you don't, you can finish it in like 20.
It'll be hard for me not to platinum it. I think just being in one of those, like Sony first party games usually design themselves where platinums aren't too bad.
No, they're not even close to bad. Like and they make it easy to keep track of all those in-world collectibles as well. So,
okay.
But
so your score?
Like, again, this was like one of my, as we heard on the show, my most anticipated game of the year, especially with Grand Theft Auto coming out. So hearing my thoughts on it, I'm disappointed for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's, if you're playing this game, write in, let me know why I'm wrong. Please. I will happily hear people out on this. But yeah, it's a 7 for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, again, it's
middle of the road.
Yeah, it'll be as forgettable as it gets. I think I won't look back at this and be like, oh yeah, like I'll never touch this game again. So,
does this game receive a Game of the Year nomination?
No.
All right. Nick
that's a good.
I know.
That's a good question. I mean, it should go to Death Stranding, right? Death Stranding reviewed better, but I wonder if more people will play this game.
Yeah, and it's just PlayStation streak of always having one of theirs there.
Right.
I wonder.
Right. I think one of those games will be there, but yeah, I don't know. I think Ghost of Yotei gets. Yeah,
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
And I can't even speak on performances because I didn't hear the English voice, so I don't know if it'll get.
No, you played
It'll
it.
get
You
some
played
nods.
it in the correct language. Don't worry.
Yeah,
It's fine.
but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just I mean we won't talk about it today, but I immediately after finishing this went to play Cocoon and just instantly like the feeling difference, and it's a gut feeling, right? It's how you feel. It's just if you would have told me 4 months ago that I'd be feeling this way, I'd have told you you're full of shit. Like Ghost of Yotei is like my bread and butter video games that I want to play, third person open world games. But no.
But indie games. Have I told you about Ball Pit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
told me about Ball Pit. Okay. All right. So, I mean, we can move on from here. John's going to play it, and again, we'll see what he says.
I'll give you my thoughts next year.
But is that it? Do you have any questions for me before we move?
No, I mean, I don't want to, obviously all the win system's still there, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Any other, is navigating the world fun, or is it literally just horseback and you're meant to, take time?
So...
Because I know you can, ride faster in flowers or something.
Yeah. They have a lot of that, and it's all fine. You definitely just don't walk anywhere. You're always on your horse. The world is is large and not dense.
Did you eventually just want to fast travel everywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
That's fair. I mean, most open world games.
I guess I can really quickly touch upon a big talking point on this game was the card system, where you don't have traditional quest markers. You go by rumors and things, and then the map kind of fills out as either you discover them yourself, or as rumors go, hey, I heard that this is over here and this is over there. Load of crap. Just it's just a flourish on a normal quest structure.
Man, sucker punch, bunch of liars.
Oh, they'll be fine, and they got my money. I paid for the game. Oh yeah. I did think to mention this too. But if we're done talking about the game, I can go into like me getting this game was kind of a little antidote.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I got a GameStop story on this one as well. Because the day that this released, I was on my way to my GameStop where I had it pre-ordered. And, I was just checking traffic just to see how it goes. And it goes, oh, this GameStop's permanently closed. And I was like, oh, fuck.
What do I do?
So I texted John. I'm like, what happens when your GameStop closes that you had a pre-order at? So, apparently what happens is they move your pre-order to the next closest one, which was not close to me at all. And so I just went to a random GameStop and got it. But that was also a little bit of a panic. Not that I thought everywhere would be sold out of Ghost of Yotei, but being like, oh, shit.
Just got to go get it digitally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the very least. But
I buy so few games now. I was like, should I just go digitally?
yeah, I definitely. Well, again, it's always a cost thing for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And in the end, even after Ghost of Yotei does the rounds and people borrow it, and by the time I bring it to GameStop, I'll get $30 for it. So I'll end up spending $40 in the long run. So that's fine.
All right, next game.
All right, let's talk about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and we're going to tack on a little bit that Kojima Productions' 10th anniversary is also this year. So kind of an interesting world we live in for Kojima right now. But we can get into Snake Eater. Again, this is a remake of the 2004 video game. A lot of people consider this one of the best games in the franchise. Not me, but many do. But set in 1964, 31 years before the events of the original Metal Gear, the story centers on the Fox operative codenamed Naked Snake as he attempts to rescue Russian rocket scientist Nikolai Sokolov from a deep within Russian territory. And again, this is canonically the third game in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I played and completed it. John, what did you do?
Did a little bit of everything. I played up until the first boss fight, and then I watched a video going over the entire story plus all the codex. So I got the entire story because I did dig what was happening there. But
okay.
I just didn't want
And
to
you had
play
never
it.
played the game previously?
Correct. I've only done, 2 and 4 are the only 2 that I've ever played before.
Okay. I mean, I played it way after it released, so I don't remember exactly, but it was when I got my PS3. It was like within the first 2 years of that, I went back and played MGS2 and 3 because I never had a PS2. So like it's funny because this game kind of reminds me of like Twilight Princess, where Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty kind of had this big fake out. You didn't play as Snake, you played as Raiden. And then it seemed like this was like a course correction, right? Like,
Sure.
Oh, you're going to play Snake again,
Oh,
and it's
I
going to
see.
be a traditional Metal Gear, just like,
'Cause people hated the Wind Waker art style.
Right. And then here we give you Twilight Princess, the game that you wanted, and it looks the way you want with the length the way you want. So I don't have that context to it. And so, again, I rank this on the lower end of my Metal Gear games probably because I didn't play it when it came out. I played it well after, whereas my top 3 favorite Metal Gear games I all played when they came out. Yeah. Solid 5 and 4.
Yeah.
And then
you didn't play 2 when it came out?
No, I didn't have a PS2.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so I missed out on all that drama. I'm sure that was a wild time when you're like, you get out of that the tanker mission where you play as Snake, and then you're all of a sudden like, who the fuck is
Who's
this guy?
Blonde bitch?
Yeah, who's Raiden? And I love Metal Gear Solid as a franchise. At one point, it was considered my favorite franchise out there. So it was funny going into this being like, oh God, was little angsty, teenage and 20s Nick, just an idiot for liking this franchise. Is it going to hold up as well? And I will say, I'm glad that while playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is still really good. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the characters, and it's okay. You're okay, Nick. It's okay to like this franchise.
You get little Kojima patting you on the head, saying, "Don't worry, Daddy, I'll take care of you."
Yeah. And they're weird games. I mean, they've always been weird. They invite multiple playthroughs. They invite, they're stealth action games. They invite, playing with your food. Kojima games give you tons of resources, magazines, boxes, venomous snakes, and all the different guns you can get.
Infrared goggles.
Yeah, yeah, and so a lot of the stuff you can miss.
Chaff
So
grenades.
yeah, and not use, or you can just play through the game and just stealth pistol every person and just go through the game. However you want to play it. And there are tons of Easter eggs that have rewarded players in the past for going above and beyond to find them. Just like any Kojima game, Death Stranding as well. But so you played the story and you liked it enough to finish it. What did you think? What did you think of because this is kind of like a prequel to Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
This kind of sets the stage.
Canonically first out of all of them, right?
Correct. Yes.
So I'm sorry. So you're asking like my thoughts on the story first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. So like I said, man, I felt bad for a while because this is a friend of the show, Will, who's a real life friend that I've known since high school. He loves Metal Gear Solid like nothing else, loves Kojima like nothing else, and so
Smart man.
It's another one of those where it's like, okay, cool. I'm finally excited to play this, and immediately when I started, I was immediately hit with the sluggishness of the way that Snake moves and the clunkiness that I kind of felt of just all the standard gameplay mechanics. Now, when I say gameplay mechanics, I mean like movements, how to get prone, shooting. It just all felt stiff to me and the stuff that I just don't like. So I'm like, okay, let's see. Maybe it'll get better. And, so I'm like, well, let me try and stealth. And I tried to stealth, and that didn't really shake out as well as I was hoping, where I felt like the NPCs were really, really vigilant. So maybe I'm just shitty at it. But I think I kind of realized I just don't like stealth games. So I'm like, let me go guns blazing, and didn't really like the way that operated either. But I was immediately intrigued by the whole implications of everything. And before we get into the story, this game was a breath of fresh air in the sense that it did give me a lot of context for the story of Snake, because anybody who knows this franchise remotely is that it's convoluted and complicated, and there's clones, and there's who's this, and similar names: Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Big Boss, and it's like watching through the entire playthrough of this really kind of grounded me a little bit with that, which is cool. I thought that,
and I think that was intentional because MGS2 ends on the most batshit. The Patriots, Lale Lule Lo.
Yeah.
It's like an hour of exposition, secret organization within secret organization, and all this stuff. That I think that was the goal here, was to kind of, let's go before all the bullshit and just tell a really good James Bond-esque story. Yeah. Grounded as a Kojima game can get.
Yeah, but the idea of having these real world scenarios of, obviously, Russia and the United States were in a Cold War for a long, long time, and that kind of gripped the world in a layer of fear, and what's going to happen? Are we all going to get blown up or whatever? And so to kind of have this fake alternate history where you're the lone soldier that's going to save the entire world was definitely cool. I thought. Who's it? Volgan, the villain. He's kind of the right level of kind of crazy Kojima villain, but also I don't know, just entertaining to watch. And the moment when he nukes the I don't know what Sokolov's I think his laboratory or whatever.
Right.
I don't know where this is going. And yeah, and then getting to the resolution of it was great. Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed all that. I wish I could enjoy the playing of them more.
Yeah, and that's fair, and that's funny because you're playing the best version of it, right? It has the updated controls, but even still, when you start this game, it's like, do you want modern controls or do you want to play the way it originally played? And go back and play the original way.
Yeah, well, I think I texted Will, or you or somebody. I was like, should I have done the original way? Because I just didn't like the way it felt. And yeah, man, it's just I don't think I'll ever like sluggish third person games again, unless if it's something maybe like a Dead Space, like a horror game where you're meant to be a little bit more like that. I never enjoyed how that felt, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a product of its time. yeah, I mean, a lot of
It is and it isn't. I think it's also a me thing. And I think that's okay to accept. Like, I'll be very interested how Grand Theft Auto 6 feels, right? Because, like, I'll tell you, Red Dead 2 feels horrible to me, and that's modern as shit, right? Like, there's just something about, like, a certain, like, I don't know if this makes sense the way I'll explain it, but, like, where you kind of, like, you're like flowy as you're moving through, or like if I'm pushing the stick in one way and then I change direction, see, like, kind of slips and then starts to correct, and, like, you know, it's never like this tight. What I like about, you know, ad nauseum, the Hollow Knights and the things, it's like it's immediately responsive.
But I think it's all intentional. I don't think like it's a limitation to like the game. I think like
it's even
like,
worse.
Like games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, like it ratchets up the fear, and then in this game we're, you know, and you know, Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto, where they're going for these giant simulations. They're just trying to make it feel as real as possible. So you're not, you know, you're not just like it's not an arcade shooter.
Yeah,
you know, like getting caught is supposed to have major consequences, and for me and for you that means instant reload. But you know, other people might like to play around with that stuff, and I'm with you. This using a button to crouch and then that same button also lays you down is it never feels great.
Yeah, yeah. Just I mean, I don't know. I'm just at odds with the way I think Kojima likes to like kind of do his stuff, right? Because I remember even in Death Stranding, like I hated the menu systems there and how the map seemed impossible to read. It's iconic at this point, but I don't even like the way the inventory works in Metal Gear Solid, where you have like the two sides on the left and how they like kind of go up. It always feels clunky to look through. I don't know what I have. And this is also just not being as familiar with the series as a lot of people are, where it's like, oh, I know what's the PZAM or Penzanam or like, you know, where it lets you steady your scope and you know, all this stuff. And I don't know if this is a good time to segue into this or not, but I'm going to anyway. But one thing that I did like that opened up my eyes while watching this playthrough is that I will give Kojima the best in the biz category in one thing. His ideas are phenomenal. Like the way, like you mentioned earlier when you're talking about Ghost of Tsushima, right? How like there was that one mission where you go up to the guy and you had to play the music, and like his game seemed to be just littered with that type of nonsense, right? Like I was blown away. You know, everybody knows the big ones, right? Like you can wait the end out. You know how everybody knows how Psycho Mantis works, but you know, I didn't really kind of realize that you could effectively like kind of grab a snake and then throw that snake at a person and like it could bite him and then poison him, and like the amount of thought that goes into each scenario and each playscape, so to speak, it now makes sense to me. I remember when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, Colin Moriarty of Sacred Symbols, I think at the time he was podcasting with Greg Miller still, or maybe right around there, mentioned something along the lines of it's the greatest gameplay ever. And to me, gameplay is the movements and stuff, right? And so I was like, I don't quite understand that, but I get it now. It's like you can do so many different ways to accomplish a task that like it really gives you those aha, like, oh shit, that's so cool moments. And I get that. It's just takes too much time for my brain to like want to do all of that. You know, so it goes back to the whole time thing that I always bitch about. But I will give Kojima his flowers there. I think that guy is unmatched with just gameplay ideas for sure.
There's a depth to his games that is there if you want it. But of course, you can like I said, you can just take the easy route and just silent trank every person in the game and just sit through the roller coaster ride that is a Kojima game. But It's fine. It's not for everybody. It's polarizing.
It's really impressive. I will give him that. It's really impressive. I don't know if that's a programming genius level type stuff or he's just an idea man that other people can't come up with his ideas. But
yeah, I think he's just about attention to detail.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm sure it was like, we need to eat things in the game, right? Like we need wildlife so you can eat because it's a survival mission, right? You're behind enemy lines, procure on site. Like let's have you eat the snake, but what if you could trank the snake? We have a trank gun in the game. What if you could trank the snake, cage the snake, and then throw the snake at enemies? And they're probably all like, "Oh, that's going to be a nightmare to program, Kojima," but okay. And then they do it, and it's just full of that, you know, like. Since I played the game before, you know, there's a famous cutscene where you can kill a boss right when the cutscene ends. You can snipe him from a ways away, and then you don't fight him at all. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and it's just like probably the same thing. He's like, It's like, oh yeah, the end is in this wheelchair. The player just saw him in a cutscene. What if he slowly wheeled him away? And what if the player just all of a sudden said, I want to snipe him. I want to see what happens if I snipe him. And we're going to let them do that. And it's going to get rid of all the cutscenes. It's going to remove one of the video game's best boss fights, arguably, by a lot of people. We're just going to remove that from the game. And they're just like, oh, Kojima, we want people to see this boss fight, but okay. And then they do it, and everyone's like, well, that's so innovative.
Yeah.
It's
cool. It's cool stuff.
But yeah, I mean, if there's one thing Kojima does, is his approach to boss fights in general is always been pretty impressive. It's never what you think it is.
Yeah, they're cool, but I do personally push back on the boss fights a little bit. Watching that was like the one section of gameplay that I did make sure I watched. Like even if it wasn't included in my video, I went back and watched all the boss fights, and yeah, they're cool. They're puzzles. They're not straightforward, and that's cool. But they all seemed really annoying to have to do.
They are frustrating,
and that's cardinal sin number one to me. Is like this isn't fun, right? Like let's take the end fight. It's really cool. It takes place over 3 separate areas. He's very hidden. You're the hunted. He's going to shoot you. I don't want to get shot blindly over and over again, right? And I don't want to have to sneak around and crawl really, really slowly, and I can go up behind him and I can hold him at gunpoint, and then I just end up shooting him in the head a couple times. Or you can wait him out. And again, that's really cool, but it's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. So it's or even I'll take the first boss fight, the pain. You're fighting. He's on a little rock. You're on a little rock. He's got bees. Okay, he shoots the bees. I got to get in the water. I come back out. Now I throw a grenade at him. Now I go back in the water to get away from and it always seems like it's these things like really cool ideas, really unique setups and ways unlike, boss fights unlike anything else. But I don't want to what's the other one with the jumping guy in the trees?
The fear.
Yeah, that one looked like it sucks too.
Yeah, that one made me
visibly
mad.
I'm a little at odds with the whole his boss fights are the best boss fights. They're cool, they're unique, and everything else his games are. But
I think that's and I always try to go back to when I didn't know what to do, and I know that that's where the codec system really shines. Is
and this you taught me this, and I was like, that is really cool that you can actually do that.
Right,
I never think to do.
So
that.
the codec in the Metal Gear games is how you call all your support people. And they must record hundreds and hundreds of lines of dialogues for these people, but it really comes into the play in these esoteric boss battles where you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You can call these numbers and they're going to start feeding you hints, and then eventually they'll just tell you what you need to do. But I remember even MGS2, the bomb guy on skates,
Fat Man.
Yeah,
I know my Metal Gear.
Seeing that character and being like, how the fuck do I beat this guy? And then having to call them a bunch of times, and that is kind of the standard here.
It's cool.
But it's just him. It's you either love it or you hate it, but it's non-traditional, so they're unique. You won't play games like his anywhere else for sure.
Yeah. Another thing I hate about it.
Okay.
I don't like the oddballness. I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
The
silliness.
When you meet Ocelot and he goes, meow. What are you doing? I don't get it, and that's just again I have no fun anymore in my heart. I don't know how to smile anymore, guys. I don't know.
Or when you meet Eva and she instantly is like, oh, this top is just too hot.
Oh, that part's great. That's fine.
And just instantly exposes her bikini top. Every scene she's in, she's like, oh, geez, I'm just too hot. And I know it's part of her character is she's she's an agent,
kind of person,
femme fatale, like in a Bond movie and all that, and so she fits the role perfectly. And I actually do like the character a lot. But
Eva was arguably my favorite character in that whole game. I think.
Yeah, her and the boss are really stand out.
Or Ocelot twirling his guns to fend off the bees. It's there's just we're out here trying to make sure the world doesn't end, and then I got this Joker going. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I'm interested now. Obviously, enjoying this game is going back to MGS4, which is a game I have not played in a very long time, which I love so much, but is also so heavy on all that bullshit.
Yeah,
because it had tried to wrap up all the storyline of 3 games to the best that they could.
I do want to do that boss fight again, that last Ocelot boss fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because weirdly enough, for some reason, I really liked MGS4 when I played it too. I don't know why. I think I was really hyped to get a PS3 because it was like the first console I ever bought. But like that was a cool boss fight because I remember you go through the different phases. Like part of it's like an MGS1 fight, part of it's an MGS2 fight, then an MGS3 fight. I was like, that's kind of cool.
And the soundtrack to that game is amazing because it remixes all the soundtracks from the previous games too. So
yeah,
but yeah, I'm curious to go back to that because you thought cutscenes were ridiculous in 3. They're ridiculous in 4.
Oh, they're the most. The most.
So.
Yeah, and now that I have context for Eva, I got Eva's in that game, and I didn't know that. And it's and you know I know that Ocelot is the same version of himself through all the games, but the snakes aren't. So you know it's starting to come together. a little bit, but yeah, you know, and for anybody out there, that you know it's like, oh, guy, you're silly. I wish I could, man. I really wish that I could like get back into where I wanted to play games like these anymore. I think I can kind of officially say that if it's a sluggish third-person game, it's not going to be for me anymore. And it sucks and it hurts and it writes off a lot of different games, but it's also good in the sense that it allows me to play what I want to play, right? Like, have I talked to you about Ball Pit yet? You know, going up and booting that up and it's just dumb, kinetic, arcadey fun is like that's just where I land more nowadays. And so I really like that I went back and watched the video. I know it to a lot of people that's probably, I don't know, sacrilege or, you know, why would you even bother? But like I feel like I haven't completed MGS3, but I've gotten my fill of MGS3, and I can comfortably push it to the side now and go, okay, I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to worry about backlogging you, returning to you later in the future. I know what you are. I've done it. I've at least seen it. You know, it's the same thing that I did with Persona 5 when I actually, for some reason, watched a 66-hour YouTube video of that. Right? I was like, I don't want to play this, but I want to see this, and so I don't hate that I did it like that, I guess.
You shouldn't. How we consume games in 2025 is ridiculous. You know, going back to Ghost of Yotei, I 100% bumped the difficulty down to casual toward the end. I'm just like, I'm done. I just want to finish it. And we both have a friend who only consumes video games by watching them, which is insane to me. Like all video games by watching them. That is ridiculous. But that's how he likes to do it, and that's fine. Like, it just is what it is. Like, it's crazy to me that all these companies allow full playthroughs of all their games to be posted online all the time. Like, and just came out, you know, and you can watch a full playthrough of, you know, Outer Worlds 2. I bet you could watch a full playthrough right now, you know, and that just came out.
I'm trying my damnedest not to do the same thing with Clair Obscur right now. It's like
so it's fine, and gaming tastes change, and like I kind of again. I'm happy that I'm hyper focused on the games that I like and how I want to play them.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good feeling because then I know I'm playing games because I don't know, when I was in my 20s, I played every stupid fucking game and I can't remember so many of them.
Well, and you know, now
a lot of them sucked.
And now you hate open world games and you want indie games. Yeah, you can just for the record, you can watch a 4K 60 frames per second 21-hour video of the Outer Worlds 2. On YouTube right now if you want.
Yep. So that is crazy. So but yeah, don't hate yourself. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate myself.
From a remake standpoint, very good. It holds up. I'm glad that they did this and brought this game up from just
the what is the name of Sokolov's his machine?
The Shagohod?
The Shagohod. What a ridiculous piece of machinery that thing is, huh? Like, it can walk. It's got these big turbine things in the front. It's got rockets on it. That seemed like the coolest boss fight of the entire game. I know it's simple and easy, but like that's another thing that I will give Kojima a lot of flowers is, you know, he's always talked about how he loves movies and how he's a director first and foremost. Like, dude can direct some scenes. Like, you know, that whole bike escape sequence thing was really cool.
Shocker, there's another Metal Gear at the end of the game, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
well, I going back to that, how you encounter that one guy where he's like, I've been working on this Metal Gear thing, and you're like, oh, that's the Genesis. That's the very start of it right there. And it's it's cool to put those pieces together.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in that game for fans. Even the guy's identity who you steal is Raiden.
Yeah.
looks just like
Yeah,
him,
that
so.
caused me to have to go into Google. Is Raiden a clone of no, that's just like
just
alludes
a
to
nod.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game, the characters, the story. And it's just a good, solid game. So I'm curious if they ever announce this MGS Collection Volume 2, or
Sounds
if
like
they
a Game Awards thing.
or if they even decide to go this route on any of the other Metal Gear games. I'd be interested in what route they're going to take.
Yeah, which one's next?
Or if they want to make a new entry in the franchise altogether. If Konami's
seems-
feeling so bold.
I don't think they have the balls. Because
They're getting more and more into video games, and successfully too. When you think about Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill F, and now this, you're like, what the hell?
What's one
Konami's back.
what's arguably my favorite franchise, Nick, in video games? Let's see if you can. What do you think?
Are we talking about like Castlevania? Are we talking?
Well, I'll help you out. The Soul series, right?
Yeah.
Soul series. To this day, people hate on Dark Souls 2 because it was not directed by Miyazaki. I don't think there's a world where Konami can get away with a Metal Gear game that's not directed by him, where people aren't going to just blast it apart. It might still be solid, but I don't think they even bother.
Is the choice a Metal Gear game or none at all? I think people would want another Metal Gear game.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like
there will be another Metal Gear game without Kojima, right? Like there has to be. At some point, someone will tackle Metal Gear without Kojima at the helm.
If there is, I don't think you'd have Snake. I think it would be an entirely different thing.
Sure.
And maybe you'd have to make it really different. Like from that standpoint, I have to tell a whole other story.
I mean, they could always reboot it, and then it's just Snake, but it's a new world, a new story.
I could
and all
see
that.
Konami just milking the fuck out of remakes and collections and that kind of stuff more than trying to do their own new one. But yeah, I mean, I'd be most interested, if Kojima's ever able to get that IP back. But he's also an old man that already has his hands full and probably won't.
Yeah, and
have much else
that kind
after
of we'll briefly touch on this because we are running long here. Kojima Productions had their 10th anniversary. It's been 10 years since Kojima left. God, time just flies. Konami and started his own studio, started Death Stranding. Released Death Stranding 2 earlier this year, but they kind of got into a lot of like the future, and there was a bunch of side stuff, but they did get into Fizzant, the next stealth action game. We got a character box art that looks like the actor from the Harry Potter franchise. And what's his fucking name?
Sorry, say that. I was reading something about Kojima.
The Harry Potter franchise post Harry Potter.
Wizarding World of
No.
what?
What is
The Harry Potter franchise post Harry Potter.
Yes, that stars the English actor.
Oh, Magical Beast, Fantastical.
Yeah, what's
Fantastic
his
Beasts?
name?
Eddie Redmayne.
Yes, Eddie Redmayne.
Okay.
They released an image that looks like Eddie Redmayne on the cover. This is...
Can I say something? I don't like that guy. Something about him. Don't like him.
Wow, okay.
Just saying. Don't like him.
But, I mean, remember, Fizzin is supposed to be a cross-media project, which sounds like it'll probably get a movie,
Yeah.
possibly an anime, because we're getting anime of other Kojima projects. Is there anything you want to see out of this? They did announce some of the cast, which is, Madong, from Train to Busan. Remember that actor?
What'd you say?
Madong.
Madong?
Remember the actor from... he's in Weapons.
Oh, Benedict Wong?
No.
What?
No, look up Madong.
Okay. Okay. On the company.
Am I getting them mixed up?
Yeah. No, the dude in Weapons was Benedict Wong from
Okay,
Doctor
you're
Strange.
right. You're right. And then,
But I do see Madong.
Madong is he's in
Eternals.
Eternals, right? And he's in Death Stranding 2. And,
Okay.
Yeah. He's gonna be in this Fizzant game.
Okay.
With Minami Hamabe from Godzilla -1. Do you?
Yeah. She's really pretty.
And then Charlie Fraser from Mad Max Furiosa.
Yeah, I mean, for this game, you got to show me gameplay that's not sluggish third-person combat, and I'll consider. I'm at that point, man. I'm at that point where if that's how your game looks, I just won't entertain it, And so for me, it's like, we'll see what it is.
Death Stranding 2 played very, very well, so I think you'd feel better.
Yeah,
but is it enough? It feels really good.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah. No, Death Stranding 2 is awesome from a gameplay standpoint. Like I said, I feel like, as I said when I talked about Death Stranding 2, that was just the sequel to MGS5, or it was MGS5. It had all the same kind of mechanics, all the things that we're talking about with Metal Gear Solid Delta. All the different options and weapons and weird things you can do to interact with all the enemies there. That was in Death Stranding 2, and I'm assuming Fizzin will be the same way. It'll be an open world stealth action game.
Yeah.
In the same vein as MGS5.
No, I want everybody who likes Kojima to be happy with the product. That's what I want from Fizzin. I want everybody who wants it to be sweet to be sweet.
Yeah, so not much to really go on. It's a box art. This game is, I don't know, at minimum 5 years off. So.
Yeah, so long.
If we're lucky, so.
I'd say 2020.
But we did also get a trailer for his other project, OD. It has a subtitle now, OD Knock. What it sounds like is the OD franchise will be episodic, and different directors are going to take on different episodes. It sounds like Kojima's doing the first one. Was that last year when he came out with Jordan Peele? Jordan Peele will be doing one, and so maybe this looks to be an anthology series with OD / whatever. What did you think of the trailer? Or is there anything to add at all? We can just skip.
No. This shit is PT, man.
Yeah.
Is what, I mean, it had a lot of the, Death Stranding vibes of, like, kind of what the fuck am I looking at? And, like, I remember there was, like, a candle or something, and it, like, transformed. I'm having a hard time even remembering the trailer, but I just remember being, like, kind of just over-the-top creepy and weird, and obviously it's a horror thing, and there's a door that, looks very PT-ish. So
yeah, it seemed like you're first person. You're lighting like candles. It looks like a kind of like a occult, satanic like effigy, or like you're praying to the wrong god, basically. But at the whole time, like there's this knocking going on, and at the end of the trailer, something comes through that door, sneaks up behind you, and then grabs your face. Yeah. And I forget the actress that's in it. But
it's the daughter from Chair Company.
Yeah.
Sophia Lillis.
Yeah.
Watching it now, I mean, I think it needs to be said of how good the graphics look. I mean, there's obviously that.
And again, there's not much detail
that's right.
here.
You light a baby's head on fire. And then it starts to melt. Yes.
Yeah, not much to really. There wasn't a lot to say here, like what the actual game is. But I mean, I guess we'll see. My guess is smaller experiences like PT, but told over with different directors, different stories, and different actors, and hopefully it's something pretty unique.
It'll be unique, yeah. Definitely be unique. But we'll see. Who knows when that one will come out.
I have a feeling that's sooner than later.
Think that's next year?
Yeah, I'd say next year. If it is a smaller project, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, remember, published by Xbox.
Yep.
So that's pretty wild. But all right, I mean that's all I got. I mean,
yeah, I mean I think it's probably 2 hours? Finally,
an hour and 36 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Feels good. Yeah, man, I just want to go play ball pit.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll play it too.
Yeah, you probably hate it. Like, this is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, Nick. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm a new man now, so maybe new Nick will enjoy it. So.
Yeah, I mean, ball pit. Absalom came out to good reviews. I do want to still check that out, but you just gave me Ghost of Yotei, and I'm playing Claire Obscura.
If you buy Absalom, I'll hit you.
I know. I'm not going. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I won't. I promise.
Yeah, you sit here and your gaming level is growing. All right, I keep giving you games So
yeah. Before I left for California, all I had was I was very excited to continue playing Claire Obscura, and then now that I'm back, I have that and ball pit and Yotei, and
But so what's going on with Silksong? Are you going to beat Silksong or no?
Yeah, I will. It's just leave me alone. I don't have enough time for anything.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'll press more next episode, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's too many things to play, man. I don't know. Like that's always been the problem when you borrow things from people, right? It's because like I know Nick doesn't care at all about when I get him Clear Obscure back, but I've had this for 6 months now. Like I haven't, like I've got 24 hours on this thing. I've restarted it 3 times. It's like I gotta do this. And then so in Yotei, it's like I know you don't care if I give it back to you,
correct?
But it's like it's there, so it gets precedence. So Silksong is like, I'll get to it again.
Wild stuff, man.
I know.
You got to catch up. You got some catching up to do. I don't know if we need to write out like a video game plan for you, and see if you can stick with it. But I think you constantly throw new games in it, which wrench up the other games. And so when you go back to the other games, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing or how to play. Mm-hmm. Now I got to start over again. And
Yep.
Yeah,
that's you're right.
so stop doing that.
Okay.
But
you just take a week off work.
But yeah, Cocoon is this puzzle isometric game that was free to PlayStation Plus Essential this month. And I believe it was like an 88 when it came out. I don't remember the exact score. We'll talk more next week. But it's very good.
I believe
I'm loving the fuck out of it. It's like a 5-hour, simple indie game that's been really fun so far.
87.
And then I'm also playing, and I'll talk about more next week, is the Dispatch, the story-based superhero game in the vein of, Telltale games like The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, Batman, all the Tales of the Borderlands, the playable story game. And so I'll have some impressions of that as well, as it's releasing episodic, so I'll have all the first 4 episodes done by next episode. So
look at you completing things. That hasn't changed about our show. Me not Nick doing.
Well, Ghost of Yotei was a struggle, all right? So
yeah, but you did it.
I did it, yeah. Because I tried to focus on one game. That's the key.
Yeah, it's the key. The key. Not having kids.
Or
not
a
having
big
kids
game and a little game.
Not having the kids is key.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah,
That's the
okay.
key.
Yeah,
That's the key.
Yeah. You fucked up. So,
Anybody want kids? I have 3.
How much?
Free.
Oh, okay. Wow. I'll take your son.
No. Hey, if my kids are ever listening to this in the future, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna be on my deathbed and be like, oh, let's listen to all of Dad's podcasts. And they're like, yeah, I hate all these fuckers.
Yeah. Constantly ragging on them.
Yeah.
Boy, he wanted to play video games more than he wanted to spend time with us. Wow.
Not true.
Wow.
Just sometimes.
So, all right, that's a show. We're back. It feels good.
As long as our work doesn't fuck us.
Yeah. I don't drink 2 monsters in a day, but I'm drinking my second monster today. That's just how crazy things are.
Did you mention the week before I went to, did you mention you went to Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but hopefully straight episodes here on out. Talk more video games. There's going to be more news. I mean, we're ramping up. I mean, it's going to be the Game Awards before you know it.
Yeah, it's like 5 weeks.
Also next week, the Golden Joystick is going to release their Ultimate Game of the Year list, and I'm curious as to what they're going to have on there. So we can maybe start talking Game of the Year stuff, just around that stuff. So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
sweet. All right. We thank you for listening. We thank you for enduring our little hiatus, but we're back, stronger than ever. We're level 9 now. What's wrong?
I don't know. That's just a silly thing to say. Level 9.
We're leveling up over here.
We were previously level 7.8.
Yeah. But all right. We'll be back next week with Up to 6 Things. We love you. Thanks to you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Toodaloo.
Bye.